What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of CNN 10. I'm Coy Wire with your news for Wednesday, December 3rd, which means it's Your Word Wednesday. So listen up to see if the vocabulary word you submitted helped expand our vocab today. We begin in the Middle Eastern nation of Lebanon, where Pope Leo has concluded an historic visit to the region. It was Leo's first trip abroad since becoming the first American leader of the Catholic Church back in May of this year. The Pope brought a message of unity and hope to the country that's been heavily impacted by regional conflicts and instability. He also met with more than 15,000 youngsters as part of an effort to address key issues affecting students and teens in the region. Our Christopher Lamb has more.
A warm welcome on the streets of Beirut for Pope Leo. In Lebanon during his first overseas trip, the first American Pope in the heart of the Middle East, with a message of peace.
In an age when coexistence can seem like a distant dream, the people of Lebanon, while embracing different religions, stand as a powerful reminder that fear, distrust, and prejudice do not have the final word, and that unity, reconciliation, and peace are possible.
For a country which has been through so much, Leo's visit lifting their spirits. But people here want more than nice words.
We need, if you want, practical things that the Pope will ask maybe to the church or to the maybe international community. We know the Pope that he's not a political figure and he doesn't have arms, but he has, he's the Pope. People would listen to him.
The Pope in a country with a sizable Christian community, one as old as Christianity itself, excited to meet Leo, as were young people. But, like thousands of Lebanese Christians, many have been leaving, Leo urging them to stay. The Pope's visit to Lebanon won't be able to resolve the country's problems, but it is offering a glimmer of hope.
Staying in the Middle East, an academic milestone is being celebrated in the war-torn enclave of Gaza. For the first time in more than 2 years, some students and teachers are returning to school, something that seemed impossible just months ago. Our Oren Lieberman heard from students at Gaza's Islamic University. And although their campus shares the same streets as rubble and wreckage, they said they will not let the destruction be a hindrance to their education.
For 2 years, Gaza's students thought they would never return to school. Since the war began, schools turned into shelters for the displaced. Amid the rubble wrought by Israeli airstrikes, Gaza's Islamic University is now reopening.
كثير يعني محزن إنه أشوف الجامعة هيك بهالجمال بهالعمران بهالبنيان الحلوة إنها تكون مدمرة هيك.
More than 90% of the school and university buildings in Gaza were either damaged or destroyed by Israel's bombardment, drawing accusations of scholasticide. Education became virtually impossible. Israel has always maintained that Hamas embedded its military infrastructure within schools, an accusation the militant group has denied.
حاولنا بأقل الإمكانيات إنه إحنا نكمل لأنه إحنا عندنا هذا الشغف إنه إحنا بدنا نكمل وبدنا نكون إشي في المستقبل. بتمنى أصير مهندسة معمارية كبيرة وناجحة وأحقق كل أحلامي.
صراحة شعور كتير ممتاز إنه إحنا كشعب في غزة يعود إلى حياته الطبيعية وأول ما عاد في غزة هو التعليم.
10-second trivia. Sri Lanka was known by another name during colonial times. What was it? Ceylon, Malacca, Siam, or Burma? If you said Ceylon, pinkies up. If you've ever tried a cup of Ceylon tea, it was most likely from Sri Lanka. The country was called Ceylon during British rule, which lasted until its independence in 1948. The government of Sri Lanka is engaged in an overwhelming rescue and recovery mission right now after a direct hit from Cyclone Ditwa. The cyclone was part of a series of deadly storms that wreaked havoc across southern Asia earlier this week, leaving at least 1,100 people dead across 4 countries. Our Mike Valerio has more.
A
Across flood-ravaged Sri Lanka, the military called in to airlift fuel for families cut off from the rest of the country by Cyclone Ditwa. Social media video from Sri Lanka's Air Force showing a child rescued pulled up to safety as neighboring India and Pakistan also send in aircraft to help. In Indonesia's West Sumatra, signs of Cyclone Senyar's human toll are everywhere. Orange body bags carried by rescue and recovery teams. This man lost both his mother and mother-in-law, saying they were sick and could not walk.
This building used to be my house. This was a mosque, and that was my parents' house, our rice mill, my younger brother's house, and my in-laws.
This is a before view of Songkhla province in Thailand from October, and this is a view from Sunday, a snapshot of West Sumatra from the summer and one from over the weekend. Sri Lanka's President Anurakumara Disnaika emphasizing the scale of the catastrophe.
As a country, we are facing the largest and most challenging natural disaster in our history. We also recognize that what we are undertaking is the most difficult rescue operation in our nation's history.
In Sri Lanka, more than 24,000 police, army, and Air Force personnel are still trying to reach families stranded by floods, authorities said.
In the night, things were normal. By the next morning, everything was underwater, including our house. 7 of us, including children, took refuge on the top floor. There are another 15 adults still there. Their houses are completely underwater.
Back in Indonesia, mud in some areas seen coming up to the top of door frames. This woman says her child was the one who rescued her, and the flood was as high as the attic. She's got no food from the government yet, only from relatives. All as hundreds remain missing across the worst-hit areas of Indonesia and Sri Lanka.
All right, to the nation's capital now. It is beginning to look a lot like Christmas, especially at the White House. First Lady Melania Trump has unveiled this year's decor. More than 150 volunteers helped decorate each room, following the theme of Home is Where the Heart Is. The decorations feature a nod to America's 250th birthday, which is next year. There are traditional elements, including twinkling lights and velvet bows, as well as a toy-themed tree in the green room, which stands next to a 6,000-piece Lego portrait of President Donald Trump. In the blue room, the official White House Christmas tree honors Gold Star families. From the White House to 151 gingerbread houses, today's story getting a 10 out of 10.
Santos Vagos por life.